Before this video starts, just remember that I'm not a doctor or a healthcare professional. I'm just letting you guys know what I've been doing to help me lose weight and what I've been researching.
Everyone's talking about getting skinny in 2026. But what if getting skinny didn't mean burnout, overstressing, overthinking, and overworking yourself? What if it meant working with your hormones instead of against them? Because let's be for real, guys, 2025 was kind of the year of us romanticizing getting into a smaller body, maybe doing, a little bit of dieting and a little bit of workouts, but it still never really worked out. You still ended up gaining back all the weight. In 2026, we are losing the weight for good, and we won't be bringing it into 2027. So if you want to lose all that weight in 2026, keep watching this video. Okay, so this video is gonna be in a few different sections, and we're gonna begin with section 1. So if you need, you can go grab a pen and paper, or just save this video and send this video to someone that you know who has been trying to get smaller but has just been stuck and just can't figure out what they're doing wrong. I know what you're doing wrong, and I'm gonna help you because I figured it out for myself. So section 1, redefining your mindset around being small. So here are some mindset shifts that I want you to bring into 2026 with you. 1, getting small doesn't mean shrinking yourself, under eating, or starving. And that's where a lot of people get confused because they think that, oh, I need to be eating the smallest portions to get small. No, you don't. Number 2, getting small equals less inflammation, balanced hormones, light digestion, a calmer nervous system, and a toned feminine shape. And I want you to remember that. If you need to write that down in a book or just like have it in your notes app so you can open it, just have that in mind in 2026. Weight loss actually happens when your body feels safe. And a lot of us, our bodies do not feel safe because it's always in this constant go, 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 overwork, overwork, overwork. Your body doesn't have time to just be like, okay, I like this, so let's work on this for a while. We aren't in tune, and we are going to be in tune in 2026. And I also want you guys to know that these are the foundations that I'm going to be using in my new little club, little group, little page where I'm going to be posting daily about cycle syncing, hormone syncing, seed cycling, how to lose weight as a feminine woman, because we have been training like men and we are not men, and we don't have male hormones like that. Our bodies are different and we have different phases in our cycle that we're also going to go through briefly in this video. And I want you guys to also remember soft discipline, not punishment. Okay, remember that. Soft discipline, not punishment. We're not punishing ourselves. Losing weight, you don't have to be punishing yourself like you're a criminal. No, you need to be doing it softly. You need to be doing it a feminine way. The Femme Flow Club. Listen, I'm gonna have everything linked so you guys can follow me, because we're going to build a healthy little group of women who want to get smaller but also want to be healthy. Because that's the thing, you can get skinny, but then what else? Okay, you're skinny and what? You need to be focusing on your health also, but that's gonna be in a different video. But let's get back onto section number 2, why hormones actually matter for weight loss. And one thing that you guys will realize is most women who have training and weight loss coaching, they don't talk about hormones. And that is literally the main thing when it comes to weight loss for women, because our hormones literally regulate everything within our body. As it relates to hormones in 2026, I want you ladies to remember this. Cortisol is a stress hormone, and that's what makes us store fat in our belly and in our thighs. And for me, I can say that I have been stressed the past 2 years, especially this year. I feel like this year I have been the most stressed that I have been. My skin was breaking out so terribly, and I don't know if you guys can tell right now, but all I have are acne scars. And this has only been a month and a half of me changing something that I've been doing, and I'm super duper excited to share that too. That's gonna be in a different video also. But just remember, cortisol is your stress hormone. Cortisol makes you store the fat in your belly and in your thigh. So when you're struggling, oh, I can't lose weight in my thighs, I want you to think about your stress. How's your stress level? How have you been managing stress lately? The next thing I want you ladies to remember is insulin imbalance equals stubborn fat and cravings. And I'm not talking about when you're having, say, a luteal phase cravings, which we're going to be going to in a different video. But yeah, insulin imbalance, it makes you have those food noise. You know, when you already ate, but then the back of your head, you're like, oh, I could definitely go to a Chipotle, or dang, I could eat a bag of Doritos right now. That's insulin imbalance. And you are going to be learning how to manage your cortisol, manage your insulin in 2026. Because once you do those, I promise you, ladies, by mid 2026, once you guys take my advice, you're gonna be like, wow, where was Tammy this whole entire time when I was trying to lose weight? Because I promise you, when you start implementing these things that I'm telling you, you are going to lose the weight for good, and you're not going to gain it back. And even if you eat those unhealthy stuff, the only thing that you might do is retain a little water weight, but you're not going to get big and fat again. I promise you, I can assure you that. The next thing I want you to remember is estrogen dominance allows you to retain water, so you have more water weight, and it also gives you that puffiness. So when you have extra estrogen, it makes you puffier. And when people are telling you that, oh, it's sodium water weight, okay, but what causes the water weight? What causes the sodium? Nobody tells you guys these stuff, but I'm here to tell you. But this video is just briefly going over, once you subscribe and, you know, we become that clique, you guys are going to be seeing the rest of the videos that I'm going to be posting in the weeks to come, because I promise you I am going to go over all of this in the month of January. So February is basically a fresh start. January, you're doing the planning, you're implementing, you're doing the grocery shopping, you're doing your research. But then February is where we're actually going to ensure that we're implementing everything. So also, when I said earlier that my skin was breaking out terribly, I want you guys to kind of put 2 and 2 together. Okay, my skin's breaking out really bad. I'm puffy. I am retaining so much water. Estrogen dominance. Hello. And I fixed it. Oh my goodness. And I can't wait to just tell you guys about it. But anyways, back to what we were saying. And also, I want you to remember that doing the same exercises and the same routines every day, that's keeping you back, that's holding you back, that's making you not see results. And it also ignores the shifts, because like I said, your body goes through 4 different phases in your cycle. And if you're doing the same thing every day, what do you think is going to happen? You're not going to see results, because you need to be working for those phases in your cycle. And I also want you guys to remember, you don't have a willpower problem, you have a cycle. So for those people who are telling you, oh, you have no willpower, that's why you're not losing weight, that's why you're not getting skinny, that's why you're not seeing results. No, you have a cycle, and you have to work with your cycle, and they're not teaching you that because they want you to spend money so they can tell you, hey, you need to undereat. Babe, you have a cycle. You have a cycle. And once you start working with your cycle, you'll realize how much of just a joy your feminine body is. And as women, we aren't really taught stuff like that growing up. Not from our parents, not at school. But I'm here to teach us, and that's the best part. So, and I love you guys so very much. And yeah, on to section number 3. Okay, section number 3 is gonna be our cycle syncing fat loss breakdown. We have 4 phases of our cycle, like I said: your follicular phase, your ovulatory phase, your luteal phase, and then your menstrual phase. It's not just a menstrual cycle, it's a cycle with different phases, and you need to remember that. So let's do a quick little breakdown of each phases in our cycle. Our follicular phase is usually the phase, our follicular phase is the phase before our ovulation. During this time, it's best to eat lighter foods. Think of salmon, think of green leafy veggies, light fruit, stuff like that. It's the best time to basically be in a deficit, but you're technically not in a deficit. You're just eating for that phase in your cycle. So in your follicular phase, focus on eating clean, eating very light throughout the day. But also, this is a time where you have higher motivation. So you might realize, like, oh, this time of the month, I feel like, wow, yes, I can go to the gym every single day. I can go hard. This is because you're in your follicular phase. And this is also the best time for lifting. It's the best time to do some HIIT workouts, because it's not going to make you be puffy. And this is also the best time to implement new habits. So just remember that your follicular phase is going to be right after your period, before you start ovulating. So right after your period, that's a time where you should be implementing my weight loss strategies, if you get what I'm trying to say. Next is the ovulatory phase. This is the phase where you have peak energy and confidence. It's where you feel the most beautiful. It's where you feel like, wow, I'm the main character and everyone is the side character in my world. During this time, you focus on anti-inflammatory eating, and you also focus on a lot of lean proteins. So your salmon, your beef, your chicken. I don't really like chicken that much. And gosh, we're gonna get into that listen, we're gonna get into that. I'm gonna get into that, so don't worry. But this is where you're gonna focus on getting your protein in. You know, when they're like, girls, you gotta be downing protein to see results. Not every day, okay? But when you're ovulating, yes, you are going to be downing that protein. You're going to be eating that Greek yogurt. You're going to be eating those meats. You're going to be focusing on fat. This is where you should also be strength training a lot more. So the same thing, like, you know, you're lifting. I don't really lift weights. I just use the gym equipment, and then I also do, you know, my strength training with my body. So this is the perfect time to get all of that in. Do some muscle resistance training. This is also going to be where fat loss is easier. So in your follicular and your ovulatory phase, this is where you're gonna be losing fat the easiest. And then once we get on to our luteal and menstruation, that's where you kind of are in like more of a maintaining than a losing. And we're gonna get into why. So now we're going to be talking about our luteal phase. This is where girls, you know, we tend to be a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, a little bit more, everything makes me so sad, like right now in my luteal phase. But I feel great, and it's because I've been eating and training for the different phases of my cycle. That's kind of the theme of what's gonna help us in 2026. Okay, so in the luteal phase, I want you guys to remember, slow down to slim down. Okay, that's your motto for your luteal phase, slow down to slim down, because the luteal phase is typically one of the longer phases as well, leading up to our menstrual, leading up to our blood. Yeah, remember that, slow down to slim down. In the luteal phase, as it relates to working out, it's gonna be different from your follicular and your ovulatory, because in your luteal phase, you want to focus on low intensity workouts and also walking a lot more. So in my luteal phase, the thing is, you have to also learn to respect your body during this time. So if one day you're just like, I don't really feel like doing anything, I don't even feel like getting my 10K minimum, you don't have to. You genuinely don't, because you're burning more calories doing nothing in your luteal phase than your other phases doing nothing. So I also want you to focus on carby foods and magnesium rich foods. So your dark chocolates are definitely recommended during this time, and also focus on eating more iron rich foods because you're leading up to your menstrual. And yeah, focus on carbs. In your luteal phase, this is where you should be eating more complex carbs. I'm not talking about breads and stuff like that. I mean, you know, your quinoa, your sweet potato, your lean carbs. And yeah, just try to take it a lot more slower during this time. Focus on hydration, focus on nourishing your body, focus on listening to your body, getting your steps in, doing a little light Pilates, you know, a little light little movement. But if you don't feel like doing it, you don't have to, because you're burning more calories doing nothing during this phase anyways. And also, oh my gosh, during your luteal phase, focus on getting enough sleep. I cannot stress this enough. Focus on getting enough sleep, because if you don't, I promise your body is gonna feel it and you won't feel good. And like I said, we're trying to get our body in that cycle syncing, right? We're trying to cycle sync our body to literally make a fat loss easier for us, because it shouldn't be hard. And everybody likes to go the longer way so they can make money, but I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you guys, so don't worry about it. I'm here to help you guys. I'm stepping in. I'm taking up the forefront right now. And the last phase that we're going to be talking about is our menstrual phase. And I want to say, ever since I started losing weight, my periods got very light. When I was fat, periods were very heavy. I had severe cramps. Now my cramps are light to no cramps at all. Yeah, so let's dive into our menstrual phase real quick. During your menstrual phase, I want you to remember when we talked about water weight and estrogen dominance? During your menstrual cycle, you lose water weight easier. So focus on hydration, focus on getting light movements in, but you should also be resting. That's the main thing you need to do when you're bleeding. You don't need that extra stress on your body. Focus on resting. You can get your steps throughout the day, yes, but focus on getting rest, and also focus on iron rich foods. Focus on eating more beef, more lentils, more, you know, beans. Focus on getting stews and soups, warm filling foods, because you're in your inner winter. So in your menstrual phase, when you're bleeding, you don't need to be doing all of that. Focus on getting rest. So during the times where you would typically be out for a walk, out at the gym, just sit down on your couch and just do something on your phone, do something, read a book, you know what I mean? Go to bed, take a little nap. But you don't need to be going go. No, this is the time where you rest. You know, you're a little bear, you're hibernating, and then once the winter is over, you get back to in your follicular, and then you get back on that grind. That's how you sync your body, that's how you sync your cycle, and that's how you are going to get the most effective fat loss in 2026. All right, so let's go into section 4 real quick, and this is kind of the essence of the video. Well, I mean, the cycle syncing part was kind of the essence, because that's what's gonna, get us to effectively utilize our bodies to lose that fat. But section 4 is going to be how to get small without overtraining, overworking, and just doing the most. So this is how to get small without doing the most in 2026. Number 1, remember that steps are greater than extreme cardio. So getting your steps in, having a step goal. All right, so the bare minimum steps for everyone is 10k steps. I aim for 20k. Well, 15 to 20k steps at any phase of your cycle is gonna be better than extreme cardio. It's gonna be better than running on a treadmill, going out for a 10k run, running a marathon. It's going to be better because it's less stress on your body. And I don't know if you realize that that's kind of like a theme here for us women, is less stress is going to equal to better results. And I want you to remember that. Less stress, better results. The next thing is 3 to 4 aligned workouts a week. You do not need to be training 5 to 7 times a week because you're not a man. I don't know how many times I have to emphasize this, but you are not a man. You don't need to be training every single day. No. You just need to be having 3 to 4 days out of the week where you're doing your training. And I also want you to take in mind what I said about the different phases of your cycle. So clearly this is gonna be, mainly for your ovulatory and your follicular, and a little bit of your luteal, because in your luteal phase, like I said, you don't need to be doing too much. Just get your steps in and do a little, and you'll be fine. But yeah, 3 to 4 assigned workouts a week. Get them done, get them out the way. Make sure that you're in tune, your muscle-mind connection is strong when you're doing these workouts so you can get a full effective workout. Remember that nourishing meals are going to be better than restriction. You do not need to restrict. Personally, for myself, okay, so what I'm gonna say is, when I say you don't need to be restrictive, I mean you don't need to be, oh yeah, I need to be vegan, I need to be carnivore, I need to, be this and that. No. But personally for me, I've noticed that when I have dairy, like the past 3 days, it's been the Christmas weekend, and guess what? I had a lot of dairy, I had a lot of wheat, I had a lot of gluten, I had everything. And it messed up my stomach, okay? It messed me up. You don't have to restrict anything, but I want you to just bear in mind that when you're eating whole foods, whole nourishing foods, that's gonna be better than you eating stuff that's gonna make your tummy feel bad. So what I want you to do is just eat certain stuff and see how you feel afterwards. See how your belly swells, so you see how, you just feel afterwards. And if you feel like, okay, I don't really need to have this in my eating, you don't need to have it, but you don't need to be so restrictive. But like I said, we're going into 2026 with a healthier mindset, so clearly we're going to be eating anti-inflammatory and whole foods. That's going to be the main focus. But if somebody wants us to go out with them, or your parents want to go out and you want to go to this place, go with them, because you're just going to eat that one time and go back to how you're going to be eating. So yeah, nourish yourself. You don't need to be such a restrictive little rat. Restrictive little rat. You need to be so restrictive. Right, and the next thing, my camera. The next thing that I want you lovely ladies to remember is that nervous system regulation equals fat loss acceleration. So the less stressed out you are, the easier it's gonna be for you to lose fat, because stress, like I said earlier, if you wanna scroll back up, but like I said, that stress hormone keeps that fat. So when we can't lose that fat in our tummies and our thighs are still big and chunky like me, and I'm finally slimming them out, I've just been working on regulating my stress and my nervous system. So remember that nervous system regulation is gonna make fat loss accelerate and go high and beyond. Remember this in 2026. A calm woman loses weight faster than a stressed out one. So the calmer you are, the more regulated your stress is, the more you kind of just realize that I don't need to be stressing over stuff that happens because it's life. I don't need to be stressing over why I'm not skinny yet, because I'm gonna get there. Once you do that, babe, I promise you, you are going to be losing the weight. Trust me. Now we are gonna go to section 5, which is going to be the Femme and Flow Club philosophy. Like I said earlier, I've created this space. I literally just created it. I got the idea immediately in my head once I started to realize that this cycle syncing has been helping me so much. Like, I'm gonna do a video. The next video is gonna be my complete weight loss transformation, everything that I've been doing and everything that I did wrong to everything that I'm now doing right. That's been helping me to get to the small body that I want, the small, healthy, lean girl body that I want. That's gonna be the next video. But let's get into the Femme and Flow philosophy. So The Femme Flow is cycle aligned fat loss, weight loss. Like I mentioned earlier, doing everything around this cycle is gonna make you lean out so much more easier than just being like, oh, you need to be restricted, oh, you need to do this to be skinny, you need to be that to be skinny. No. Working with your cycle, that's what the Femme Flow Club does. We work with your cycle. We also do feminine routines, things that you're going to be implementing in your daily life that are soft, that are gentle, that help to reduce stress, which in turn is going to make you lose fat. It's going to make you lose that water that you're holding onto. Feminine light routines daily. We glow up from the inside out. Not everything is about the exterior, but once you start paying attention to the stuff that you're eating, to the ingredients that are on the back of the chip, once you start just doing everything for the better health of your body beyond just my exterior, but once I start glowing from the inside out, yeah, that works out. And that's what the Femme Flow Club is all about. It's not just about being tiny, to be honest. It's about being regulated, it's about being toned, and it's about being radiant, because we shine everywhere we go. We shine in every room we walk in. That's what the Femme Flow Club is about. And I can't wait to see you guys, you know, become members, become a part of it, because this is gonna be so exciting. And we need more black girl inspo. I'm gonna be honest, we don't really have a lot of that, so I'm here to be your first start. So yeah. And to be honest, if anything that I've said in this video resonates with you, you're already a Femme Flow, period. Which means that you are going to be cycle syncing in 2026. You're gonna be doing it with me, Tammy, and I'm going to be giving you guys all the tips and tricks on how to effectively utilize your female body to glow up from the inside out, to lose that fat, and to make sure that in each phase of your cycle you're doing everything efficiently and you're just living your best freaking life. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching this video, and if you'd like, you can follow both my Instagrams at the Femme Flow Club and also at Tammy Alora, because I post fashion stuff. Haven't really posted in a while, but it's gonna be different for 2026. We're gonna be different for 2026, that's a fact. But yeah, just let me know, you know, comment, share, like this video if you liked this video, and comment anything that you're thinking. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what's been holding you back. Let me know if you even started cycle syncing. Just let me know. I would love to know. And remember that my next video is going to be my entire weight loss video, so it's going to be very, very long, because I've lost and I've been yo-yoing and everything like that. So now that I figured out what actually works, I just want to explain and deep dive in a little bit more for you. And then the next videos are going to be how you can cycle sync the different phases of your cycle, how to actually lose fat and lose weight effectively in those different phases. And I just absolutely can't wait. I feel so happy and so excited for 2026, and thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, my loves.